guys, how you all doing? It is the 17th of January today, I believe. I've come down the allotment because I've got a few little jobs that I want to do that aren't too stressful, too strenuous, should I say. Nothing down the allotment stressful. Although I did lose a chicken a minute ago. Couldn't find it anywhere. Hunted, I thought, oh my god, it's probably gone on someone else's plot, and like dug up their, I don't know, onions or something. And she was tucked away in one of the nest boxes, laying an egg, which is unusual because they're normally morning layers. These girls are, but she's obviously decided that she's enjoyed herself and she wants to pop one out. So, but panic over. I thought, oh my god, my back's been turned, and you know, foxes run in or buzzards come down or something. And I had a quick walk around the allotment, looking at everyone else's plot. Couldn't find her. So yeah, note to self: next time, check the nest boxes. Would have saved myself a few steps. So yeah. So anyway, plan for today was to repair my fence that got battered in the snow and in the wind. That is almost done. And then the one side of my plot where the greenhouse is, that's already got some old chicken wire up that a previous person put up. It's a bit raggedy, but it does the job. And until I've got money to get a new fence, it's staying. But the other side, next to me, which is the guy who's got the funky greenhouse, which he built from all old panes of glass and stuff. He's got two plots, him and his wife. The fence there is really low, and the chickens have a habit of hopping over it. And I have said to him, you know, if they do anything and I haven't seen it, just let me know, and I'll, you know, if they dig up a strawberry plant, I'll replace it, or whatever. But he's like, oh, you know, that's what allotments are for. It's fine, don't worry about it. But obviously I can't have that. It's not fair on him. So I am now in the process of putting a higher fence up that side. If you hear burning in the background, it's the rocket stove. Anyway, so I'm putting a higher fence up that side, so hopefully they can't hop out as easily and get onto his plot. And then they should be pretty much self-contained. Although I have realised that the fence at the back, which just goes onto a tiny strip of waste ground between the allotments and the house, the gaps in the fence are probably chicken-sized. So I might have to find myself some. Well, I've got some chicken wire that I scrounged from my mate Jeremy. He took down an old fence and he was going to skip it, and I asked him if I could have it, and he was like, yeah, crack on, do me a favour, and I want him to go to the skip. So I have got some old chicken wire, so I might just tie that with some wire along the security fencing, just to stop the chickens hopping through. So what else have I got? Oh, I've moved my old compost bin, because the pallets are pretty decent that it was made of. It was only the place where I put all my grass and hay and stuff, and then it rot down and I used it on the bed, so it was never really a proper compost bin. It was just more of a dumping ground for grass and things, like lawnmower cuttings, not like earth. So the pallets are in pretty good shape, so I've actually used one of them as part of the fence, because I run out of fence posts. All my fence posts were second hand, as in like the ones that I've collected over the years. When I used to have chickens in my old house, so when I moved house I made sure I took the fence, but yeah, I'm a hoarder. I took all the fence posts, you know, at the end of the day, like £2 each or £3 each, you know, and they were pretty good. So you're not gonna, I don't like wasting things. So I took them, and they've been stored on the top of my shed for like a year, till I used them last year to build the fence. But I was one short, and yeah, I could have gone and bought one for a couple of quid from the farmer's shop, but I just thought bugger it, and I put a pallet there now instead. So what else have I going to do? Oh, I've got a load of seed trays, which were from Freecycle. I asked if anyone had any seed trays, and a nice guy, actually two nice people. One was a lovely lady out towards Wales who was moving from a house with a garden to a flat, and she, you know, doesn't intend to garden anymore because of her age, and she was just happy for someone, you know, to use them. And she actually gave me a battery operated strimmer, which is awesome, which I just, you know, I got there and she was like, would you be interested in the strimmer? And I was like, yeah. She actually had two, and she said this one is probably the better one, because you can have them both if you want. And I said to her, I said, in the, you know, the way Freecycle is, it's not really fair on me taking two strimmers and then hoarding one and this and the other. I said, so as I was the first one there, I had the one that she thought was the better one. And I said, you know, somebody else might get used to the other strimmer. You know, you have to, in the spirit of Freecycle, really, you know, it's not, you know, I do believe in some places people use Freecycle, they gather stuff and they then sell it on car boots and things, and it just seems so wrong. This Freecycle is all about stopping things going to landfill and helping each other out. So yeah, I felt bad if I'd have took 2 stringers, so I took the one. The lady gave me a couple of garden forks, and which is ideal because I've now got one in my car, one at home, and one down here. And we, in the past, tools have been pinched. I have lost a garden fork on the plot. Obviously, kids have got in and just nicked it, jumped over the fence. So that's always a handy thing to have a couple of. What else? And she gave me a load of plastic chicken wire, which is what I'm building my fence with. So that's awesome. Really well chuffed with that at the moment. And then I saw another gentleman who was the same sort of circumstances. He was in his mid-70s, I think he said he was, and he again stopping gardening now because he just can't do it anymore. He had a massive garden, beautiful house. Oh, it was amazing. And he gave me loads of seed trays and stuff, and root trainers, plug plant cells. Oh look, I won't have to buy seed trays probably for years now if I look after what he's given me. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And he gave me some garden twine. He gave me a soil riddle. Oh, loads of different things. It was awesome. And then when we were chatting away about gardening and stuff, and he was like, "Oh, come and have a root in the shed, see if there's anything you want in there." And I was like, "Oh, if you're sure, that, I don't." And he's like, "No, I'm not going to use it." He says, "Obviously, you're going to make use of it. You seem to know what you're doing. I'd rather it go to a good home." And I was like, "Okay." So we went into his shed, and he was like, "Oh, you can have that. You can have that. You can have that." And I ended up getting some terracotta pots. I had a big box of bloodfish and bone. And then he was like, "Oh, would you like a mattock?" And I was like, "Only if you're sure." He was like, "Honestly, they're not going to get used. So if you can use them." So I was like, "Oh yeah, a mattock could be brilliant." So yeah, I've got a load of free pots and things, and I'm repairing my fence, and general just having a tidy up today because I'm hoping that if my back's up to it, because I've had a bit of a rough couple of weeks, I want to come down the weekend, and I'm going to get some help from my father-in-law and stuff, and I want to put up my chicken run, which is it's quite a big size. It's going to go in the corner by the greenhouse. So, and hopefully I've got to do some bark underneath it, which is hopefully if I can get some help with I'm hoping that my dad, my father-in-law, and my brother can come down. We can get the bark down and the chicken run up, because in an ideal world, I did say to myself all along by the end of December, and what with the snow and the way I was feeling, that kind of got pushed back, and now it's like the end of January. Yeah, and it means I can concentrate on sowing, because I know a lot of people have started sowing already in January, and I don't know about your climate and stuff, but I think our last frost date is end of April, and yeah, I think it's the end of April, beginning of May, our last frost date. So sometimes it can be counterproductive to sow too early up here, so I'm not even going to think about sowing till at least the 1st of February. I did say to myself I might start sowing some onions, but what with the breaking 2 panes of glass in the greenhouse, I was going to sow the onions and leave them in the greenhouse, but I need to repair the greenhouse first, and again that's a job that I need to do with somebody else. It's too awkward for me to do on my own, so the onions are going to be put back now, but that doesn't matter because we can buy onion sets, and the onion sets from Wilkinson's or Wilko, the store, they're pretty good actually. About £1.50 for a kilo of onion sets, and the English one, I mean, I've never had much good with the Japanese onions, but the English onions, I think they're called like Centurion, that you plant in the springtime, they seem to do really well, so I'm not too fussed about that. Chilies, again, I might start them on the windowsill beginning first week, second week in Feb, again just because of the climate, because we're a couple of weeks behind everyone else, because they're a plant that even if I put them in the greenhouse, if in end of April time we get a cold spell, it can really like stunt them a bit and set them back. So, and obviously they need the sunlight, so they can't sit on the windowsill all the time. For anyone who's never sown anything before, good rule of thumb is seedlings or plants, they need 3 sides of light. So think of your plant in a box, and the box is obviously 4 sides around it. It needs light coming to it from at least 3 sides, so 1, 2, 3, and then that could be shade. So when you've got a plant on a windowsill which is flat, it's only getting light from one side, because obviously your house is the other walls of the box and it's taking the light from. So that's when you end up getting leggy plants and stuff. Leggy means when the plants are actually trying to look for the light, so they grow, and you end up with a big long stem, and the plant is basically weakened by that. Let's call it leggy. So yeah, so that's my plan actually for the next few weeks. Finish the fence, sort out these seed trays, repair the greenhouse, put the chicken coop up, and hopefully all of that should be done. Well, all of that bar the greenhouse should be done by the end of Jan. So that's about it really. I won't ramble on too much because I think I've done about 15 minutes already, and that's probably boring you to tears. And again, it's winter, so there's not a lot going on. It's just, you know, repairing things and getting things ready. I mean, it all kicks off in February for me, so I'm sure the videos will get a lot interesting in February. Anyway, I'm going to stoke up my rocket stove because I want to get this water boiling so I can have a brew, and I've been talking to you and neglecting it. And until then, guys, speak soon. Hi guys, how you all doing? Just a quick look round. So I've taken that old compost bin down because all this area here is going to be the chicken run, so they're going to have loads of space. So that's all going to be barked soon. This is the greenhouse now. These are all the seed trays that I had from Freecycle. And there's an old wine box there, sorry, an old bottle crate, which is going to be nest boxes along with the yellow thing when I've got the run up. Just started to get really windy here, that's why I'm packing up, and I've had enough, to be honest. So started to repair the fence. I used the old compost bin to make the corner there. That's all repaired now. See you later, chickens. They're all barricaded in just in case Mr. Fox comes. So the fence is secure again. And then I've started to put a fence up right there, you can see. Sorry about the wind. So I've done a little bit today, absolutely shattered for it. But hey ho. Till next time, guys. Speak soon. Hi guys, how you all doing? So father-in-law's come down to help me today. And we're planning on getting the chicken run up. Woo! Chicken run! So yeah, bit of a big job, but we're taking it nice and steady, so it's all right. Anyway, we've had a bird flu scare in England today, so it should be awesome for them because we're not allowed to let our birds out when there's a bird flu scare. So my chicks have been indoors today, so hopefully by the end of today they should have a much bigger run to wander about in. So I will spin the camera around and you can have a look for yourself. So as you can see, what was the junk area is now all nice and barked. And I thought I'd do a quick video before we start because it's quite nice to look at a before and after. So guys, until later on, speak soon. Hi guys, how you all doing? Apologies for the wind. Obviously I haven't got my microphone that I said I was going to get yet. Not on the not top on the finance list at the moment, so that'll have to wait. So I've taken shelter in the shed, kind of tucked myself away in a little corner, so hopefully the sound's not too bad. So really cracking on with the chicken coop today. Father-in-law's come down. He doesn't want to be on the video, which is fine. He's not a big social media fan, which is that's cool. A lot of people aren't, but you know, he's done most of the work today. I've literally just held stuff and stood there. He's a bit of a genius when it comes to like DIY and things. So considering I hacked at this dog kennel thing and took it down and bit by bit from this person's house on Freecycle, he's doing ace job of getting it all back together, and it looks really good. You know, something that was free that would have gone to landfill, you know, hopefully now going to last me, you know, like 5 years plus if I look after it. So I've raised it. That corner of the allotment is very boggy. I probably wouldn't be able to grow anything there unless it was in a raised bed. So what I've done is I've put a big layer of bark down just for the base, and then I'm raising it up on some bricks and some blocks. I mean, I know they'll eventually sink down, but just for the time being, well, and going forward, the wood around the bottom will be out of any mud, and you know, it'll have a chance to dry off, so you know, it shouldn't rot too much. If I'd have put it straight onto the bark, it would have rotted in 2 years, and I've had to have repaired it and stuff, and so I don't want that. Obviously you're probably thinking, oh, I've raised it up, there's going to be a gap underneath and foxes and stuff and this and the other, but what I will actually do is I will put bricks all the way around it underneath, pack those in so there is no actual gaps that you can see, and then I'm going to lay chicken wire L-shaped like that, so it goes down the side and then across the floor, so the fox won't be able to dig through it. Foxes apparently, if I do that as an L shape like that, foxes apparently will walk along and they will go straight up to a wall and they will dig down. So if there's chicken wire there, then they dig into the chicken wire. They're not really clever enough to dig here and go under the wire. They'll always go to the wall and dig down, so I'm told. And apparently that's why the big, whoa, wind, you see that? Camera shook then because the shed went woo. So yeah, that's why a lot of the companies that do chicken runs, they do little grids that flick out on the bottom to stop the fox. So it seems to work for them, so hopefully it'll work for me. And then eventually I'm going to have all my other little runs that chickens in at the moment, they're going to come off like a little chicken maze. I don't know if any of you as kids had hamsters. We had a hamster cage and it had all tubes coming off, so the hamster could, like, you know, had his own little city with like different rooms and stuff that were dotted around the place. So that's the plan I'm going to do for the chickens. So they're going to have a good roam, and in the future I'd like to have a chicken tunnel system so they can almost go all the way around the outside of the plot, and it'll all be enclosed and fox proof, and you know, they can just come and go as they please. So that's the idea. So yeah, so fingers crossed by the end of this week or this weekend, if my father-in-law's coming down later again, I'm going to get my dad to come down and give me a hand, just because these are the jobs that I struggle with. You know, it's basically fetch and carry, and it's just, the walking just kills me, absolutely kills me. So I try to do little of it, and where can I, you know, ask for help. So it's always one of those things, you know, ask, if you can, ask for help. You know, if you've got a friend network, a family network, you know, as they say, a problem shared is a problem halved. You know, if you've got half a ton of bark to shift, and you can get 4 people to help you, or you and 3 people to help you, you know, that's a hell of a load shared. So, you know, you always got to, you know, don't be afraid to ask for help if you struggle with your garden. And you'll be surprised that even people that have no interest in gardening whatsoever will be like, oh yeah, I'll come down. Oh, I wouldn't mind seeing your allotment and the chickens. You know, you're making a cup of tea. You know, we got fish and chips today, so I got my other half to bring down some fish and chips. So father-in-law had some of them. So you know, we bought him lunch and stuff, and he's had a cup of tea, and I think he's actually really enjoyed it. Just being out and about, and he's helped me massively. Woohoo! Chicken coop. I'm tired now, so I'm going home, and the sun's setting. See you later, guys. Hi guys, how you all doing? Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. That would be awesome. You know, massive thank you to everyone who subscribed. I get very excited when that little ping goes off and I've got a new subscriber. Yeah, I know, it's sad, but you know, simple things and simple minds and all that. Anyway, again, thanks for watching. Please check out my Patreon page and my blog page. I don't blog a lot, but there's a few interesting bits on there and a bit more of an insight into me. as a person. And the Patreon page is just if you'd like to contribute to a few things that I'm trying to run at the moment. Again, check it out. I'm sure I'll speak more about it on another video. And you can find me on Twitter as well. If you search for Ross Minton, you will find my normal Twitter page, which is where I basically spout rubbish about football and politics and everything else. But I've actually got another page which is solely about gardening, because I didn't want any politics or any football to get in the way. So it's at Shropshire Allotment, links below. And if you want to talk to me about gardening or gardening with a disability, or you know, if you any questions to ask about gardening, and you know how, or even maybe you've got your own story about how you cope with gardening with a disability or old age or arthritis or any ailment, then you know, please drop me a line. I'm pretty social on social media. You know, I try and get back to everybody, and you know, so you know, please tweet away. Anyway, guys, until the next video. Hope you all have a great time at home, on your allotments, in your gardens, or whatever you do. And until then, speak soon.